governing board, superintendent, and community. My name is Jessica Smith, and I work as an accounting tech too. I also believe that our classified staff needs a higher salary increase so we can retain our members and attract future staff. As we're getting ready for summer school, I found out we only have half of the staffing that is needed, like instructional aides, skias, which means we're going to be short-staffed. When that happens, we have to hire outside vendors to provide that staff. This means that our staffing situation continues to be bad, and the way it's going is going to continue to be bad. So why don't we have enough applicants, you ask? The answer is our district doesn't offer competitive pay for classified employees, and they're applying elsewhere. For example, the starting pay for instructional aides is $50 an hour. And there are places like Panda Express that offers $19 an hour with no experience needed, just a few blocks away from here. In-N-Out offers a starting pay of $18 to $21.50 per hour. Both of these companies offer benefits for the employees and dependents. A 401k retirement plan with stockholder benefits, a gym membership, and paid time off. How does this affect us, you ask? When other companies within our community pay more and offer more benefits with no experience needed, no application testing like we do, it hurts our district's ability to hire future employees and retain current employees. If our district wants to retain its employees, they should at least offer salary that is compatible to the cost of living, which you know has increased. But because let's face it, when we all apply for a job, we look at the pay and compensation plan that best suits ourselves. We don't go for the lowest paid job. Please reconsider your offer and help us attract more employees and retain our current employees. Thank you.
Good afternoon, board members. I wanted to share some information that is heartbreaking to see. I don't understand how classified staff is told year after year that there's no money. When you go onto the Transparent California website, it shows substantial salary increases for some of our officers. I'm not saying that they don't deserve it, but how can the district say that they need to keep such high reserves because of something that may or may not happen, yet individuals that make the most money are the ones that are seeing a salary increase year after year? It's crazy to think that in times of such uncertainty, we are not only seeing substantial salary increases to two of our officers, but they are also being given a title of assistant superintendent. I do not doubt that they deserve it, but you need to know that the classified staff does too. This afternoon, I had a pleasant conversation with one of the board members and was told that the district is now offering a 3% increase in vision and dental pay. I can only speak for myself, and though 3% is much higher, it's not enough. Especially knowing that the district received a 5.33% COLA, cost of living increase this year. Why was that COLA not being passed down to the individuals that are being paid the least? Please do the right things. Our negotiation team should not have to work so hard and beg. The district needs to start doing the right thing for the classified staff. Please help us pressure the district negotiations team to do the right thing. I've made copies of what I've said, and I've actually included salaries. I sent this to all the board and included salaries, including my own, because you should see that.
Thank you, Elizabeth. You read it
No, just saying.
Martha, we have Taylor Humphrey. We have Hans Camacho. And Mia Reed.
Good evening, everyone. I just wanted to address a couple of things. Number one, I wanted to say, surprisingly enough, thank you for the letter that you guys presented in regards to keeping the SROs on campus. I think that with everything that has happened, it's extremely important that you guys be aggressive with that. You guys, as far as I know, are the first district to write such a letter, and I just ask that you continue and be aggressive about it because things are not getting better, and the SROs do help. On that note, Thank you for that. I want to address the LGBTQ Pride Month that you guys have going on. I am super LGBTQ friendly. My brother is gay. I was going to be a surrogate for a gay couple. I have 0 issues. What I do have issues with is having gender and sexuality being discussed in schools with children that aren't in biology or in a health class. Definitions, fine. Recognition, fine. But having a whole month designated to something that has nothing to do with inclusion more so than sexuality and gender identity is inappropriate and is a conversation that should be had with adults in their families and in their homes. Strangers, adults outside of the home talking to children about gender identity and sexuality. Having gender pride or LGBTQ Pride Month opens the door to those conversations. And these are our children, and you guys are teaching our children. Our children need to be taught about gender and sexuality besides the definitions, because they need to know what exists and what is out there. Health class, biology class. Leave the sex talk and the gender talk and the gender identity talk and how they feel about their sexual identity and who they want to have sex with and when up to the parents, please, because it does not belong in the school. Thank you.
Just in case anyone's hearing impaired, then you're going to see how to run you. My name is Taylor, and I'm a registered behavior technician working in the Behavior Intervention Unit under the Special Education Department, also known as SPED. As a team, we are called to work with students who are exhibiting frequent and intense maladaptive behaviors which impede their ability to engage in their curriculum and receive an education consistently. We apply and utilize applied behavior analysis, ABA, which is the scientific approach to understanding and changing socially significant behavior. ABA is well-documented science and is a successful tool for behavior intervention for autism spectrum disorders, intellectual and developmental disabilities, and emotional disturbances. These maladaptive behaviors include crying, scratching, pinching, hitting, kicking, biting, spitting, verbal aggression and threats, eating non-edible items, self-injurious behavior, property destruction, and elopement. To emphasize, the behaviors I just listed above, I or my team regularly observed, intervened on, and wrote in behavior support plans or crisis plans this school year. The behavior unit is also responsible for training teachers and classified support staff on the applicable principles of ABA so they're able to apply the techniques to reduce maladaptive behaviors. As a result, I estimate I alone have trained at least 30 staff members this year in order to better support our students. Thanks to our hard-working team, including IAs and SKIAs, SPED is able to function each day. We're an essential part of the special education department, and it is important to recognize our hard work. As a classified staff member, I am surrounded by many committed and compassionate individuals. The classified staff who work with students within the SPED are regularly placed in crisis situations. By definition, a crisis is when students exhibit intense behaviors that present imminent danger to themselves or others. Our team is frequently involved in intense crisis situations with resolve to keep our students and ourselves safe. Regardless of the risk involved, we continue to return each day because we are passionate about our students' educational rights and building a stronger community.
And I'm just going to pick up where Taylor left off. Unfortunately, our team has felt overworked and abused by William S. Hart School District. Our passionate and dedicated classified staff should never go home in a state of emotional duress due to the insufficient benefits provided by the district. We should not have to wonder if we'll have secure, consistent housing, access to adequate medical care, and fair living wage because the district refuses to recognize our value. We have been and are loyal, hardworking, compassionate, and committed employees, but we are being worn thin. We came to this district under the impression that we would have valued members of the team, but this is not the case. The total hours of direct service provided by our team to students this year was 4,439 hours, with a caseload of 80 students. This number increased from 52 last school year. The behavior unit is also responsible for ESY preparation, moving student supplies and equipment to the ESY site, and preparing student and teacher materials. How will the district function with our classified employees? I've met and worked with dozens of fantastic teachers in our district, but they can't do it without us, just like we can't do it without them. A team requires all parties to be valued. I ask the district to value all classified employees through compensating us financially and providing adequate benefits. Based on the average hourly salary of multiple local behavior agencies, our calculations indicate our rate of pay should be at least $25 an hour. Indeed states with 3 to 5 years of experience, which nearly everyone on our team has, pay should be $26.77. We're all underpaid. We call on the board to recognize our worth and pay us fairly. Classified staff would like the opportunity to work with current board members in the future, depending on re-election results. Staying united as a team is what's best for our students.
Now, I called Mia Reed a couple of times. Is she in the room? Or... There you go.
Good evening again. Okay, this time I'm not going to talk anything about negotiations. I have a sea of blue here standing in front of you who will address that. What I would like to address is the workload issues encountered by classified employees due to lack of substitute employees and our inability to recruit and hire qualified candidates to fill vacancies. This year has been hard on all of us, but what has made it harder has been the inability to accommodate the workload issues caused by the exodus of classified employees. On the West Ranch campus, we went the entire year short 2 campus supervisors. We also had 2 custodians with restrictions working in a modified capacity with no substitute. While these 2 examples resulted in additional pay to our staff, not all locations were able to work something out. In the payroll department, they went from 3 bodies to 1, with an increase in workload because of learning loss mitigation and intervention additional assignments that had to be paid, not to mention the different rates that these different assignments were paid at. The transactions process went from about 700 to 2,100 per payroll period just for certificated employees. We are at that point in the year where we can offer our less than 12-month employees the opportunity to work extra assignments without affecting their eligibility for the California School Employee Summer Assistance Program, get compensated, learn valuable job skills, and ease the workload issues in the interim. For example, we can offer a summer assignment to one of the many secretaries who have experienced processing payroll at sites to help with the data entry in the payroll department. So this is just food for thought. We need to start utilizing our human resources in a way that will benefit the district and the employee by easing stress and supporting the emotional and mental well-being of our employees. And I'd also like to do a shout out to Pratika because she is also Western High School's prom queen.
Thank you. First of all, I do want to thank you for sending that letter to the LA County Board of Supervisors. After reviewing the Hart District best practices for school safety, there are several opportunities for improvement and further discussion is needed. It really is hit and miss as to whether or not a school resource officer would be on campus in the event of an emergency. There should be no less than 1 deputy on campus every moment of the school day that the school is open and every event that is held. The district needs to seek funding for full-time SROs on every district campus. There needs to be a constant presence by designated staff, even if the SRO is on campus full-time, around the perimeter areas, parking lots, etc. Security cameras are no good if somebody is not monitoring them full-time, and it was stated on the Hart website under security safety, school safety, that they were on all campuses, but something tells me that the scope of these cameras is very limited. If you look at nearly all of the school shooting incidents, you'll often see law enforcement evacuating people out of windows when possible. The district really should make sure that every class has a window that is able to be secured from entry, but also quickly opened wide enough to allow for escape. I saw no mention of how exterior and interior classroom doors are or can or should be able to be secured in the event of an emergency. I'm requesting that this be added to the next agenda, or very soon agenda coming up for the board meetings, and I'm requesting that you seek a bid from the Sheriff's Department to staff every school with a deputy Monday through Friday during school hours at a minimum. If not the Sheriff's Department, then seek a private armed security company to provide the service. The private company could be requested to be in recognizable but soft clothing with concealed weapons and body armor. The soft clothing allows them to still be able to work and move around the school in an emergency, but it's not a police uniform that some people may be uncomfortable with. I don't know why, but some people are. I find it comforting and a security. The Hart District can be a leader in school safety, and I'm asking you to really push this. Thank you.
Good evening, board members, superintendent, staff. Congratulations, Clarita. My name is Amber Medina. I've been in the district 20 years. I am the current registrar at Valencia High School. The elected positions that I have held within CSCA is past president, vice president, job steward, and one thing I am passionate about is student success. We are here for equal pay, equal benefits. As McNally Elizabeth has said in the past, every year we have not had raises in 7 years. Yes, the district is proposing a 3% to our vision and dental, but I want to tell you, since I was hired in November of 2001, I have always had to pay $200 out of pocket for, I believe, Delta Dental, which is $200 every month. This is something a party should not have to pay. That extra benefits paid, that is paid for every other management and every other staff, would go back in our pockets. We have title changes, we have salary increases during COVID. Registrars were the first ones back. Why? Because we had to send the transcripts to universities. Custodians were on campus, secretaries. Our own Diane Fernandez, who's recognized at Valencia High, she's classified. No amount could pay her what she did to save that kid's life. We are equal, we are what we deserve, because we are the first ones in, the last ones out. We do our job because we love our students. I love my parents, despite the phone calls I may get. I do it because I know I'm doing it for the students like Pratika, who are going to come back and say thank you. We are the first ones there, and we deserve our pay. Teachers got their raise. Yes, they teach, but classified is the engine of the car. Without us, you guys would fail. And I don't mean that derogatory, but without us, you guys would have nothing. A 5% would be nothing. You guys could pay 12 with your 30% reserve. All we are asking is for our fair share, welfare benefits, and including that 5 raise. Thank you, Mr. Messina.
That sign might as well read one Hart, ... and classified staff. Never underestimate a group of galvanized, marginalized, underpaid, underrespected group of people. Imagine if every classified member in this room, their friends, and their friends' friends decided not to show up to school on the 3rd day of school next year. 2%, 3%, it doesn't matter. It's all a slap in the face, and everyone in here knows it. Do the right thing, solve the classified staffing problem, and solve it now, or we'll solve it for you. Do the right thing, pay all of us what we deserve, and continue to make the district the standard bearer for our valley, our county, our state, and our nation. These aren't words of threat, they are a call to action. You see everybody here. We all know that we are in crisis. Now is the time to solve it. Everybody here, everybody watching online, everybody that is part of the District Advisory Council knows this is an issue, and it's not going to get better until we do something about it. That is in your hands. It is in the hands of the bargaining unit. I love this district. It is the greatest district anywhere. We need to continue to be able to provide and make ourselves great by doing what is necessary to pay the people that make this district done. That's why everybody's here. Please take that to heart. Thank you.
But my part went first, so I was just switching to it, that's okay.
Is that okay? My name is Michelle Garvin. I'm here to represent a frequently forgotten department within the classified personnel. We are the school-based therapists. Many of us have worked for the district for 8 to 10 years. 10 years ago, 8 licensed therapists were hired to start this program. I was one of them. Over the last 10 years, so much has changed. The work and the demand has changed, yet our paychecks have remained remarkably the same. 10 years ago, we held a caseload of approximately 18 to 20 students. As a school-based therapist, this job is to help students meet their IEP goals related to mental health. An example of the goals we were working on 10 years ago were to increase students' organization, time management, socialization, and positive coping skills. Currently, we manage a caseload of 25 to 30 students, sometimes more. As you know, there's a teen mental health crisis. We see it, we feel it. The goals we now focus on are dramatically different. Today, our primary concern is to keep students alive, keeping them safe, keeping the campus safe, and keeping students attending school. The work is much more intense, and we do it, no questions asked. When there is a crisis, a death, a disaster in the community, we are asked to drop what we're doing and assist. When COVID hit, we were asked to immediately pivot and offer services in a way that we had never done before, to maintain consistency for our students. 2 weeks ago, after the horrible tragedy in Texas, our team received notifications before school began from our department manager and our school principals. We were asked to be there to support our students and the school staff that may be in need. See, I'm gonna run out of time. I'm gonna keep over.
Thank you. Good evening, board. My name is Corey Christensen, and I'm a school-based therapist in Mill Valley. And I will continue from where Michelle left off. This is a typical day, sadly, in our work. And also, we have a district-wide accountability and responsibility, not just our campuses. So keep that in mind. 15 minutes later, a district-wide email came out from Superintendent Coleman stating, "I'm writing to let you know that we want to make available the full array of mental health support that we have in place here in our district. For those of you that may need a helping hand during this difficult time. If you find yourself needing an opportunity to talk, please reach out to your administrator. All have been informed that Dr. Beatty and his team are ready to deploy in support of our community." At 11 a.m. that same day, we received another message from Dr. Beatty that there was a medical emergency at Valencia High School. Several of us were told to drop everything and leave to support that student and staff at Valencia. In the meantime, I had a student in my office, another crying in the counseling office waiting for me, and an extremely important IEP to attend 1 hour later for a student with severe chronic mental health issues. Since the Saugus tragedy, some of us have been asked to facilitate a student care team on our campuses to help assess students for possible school threats and develop preventive measures. And we do this every day. We are accountable and we are respectful, but we also ask that you consider what we're asking, and in my opinion, it's well-deserved, well-earned, and
My name is Dr. Roberta Rubin, school-based therapist. What was once a program of 8 licensed therapists is now 28. Additionally, there are 25 unlicensed therapists. With this growth came more responsibility. Several of us are asked to supervise and train unlicensed therapists who work under our license. We're not only responsible for 25 to 30 plus cases, but theirs as well. Sometimes this means we oversee up to 75 cases. We took on this additional responsibility with no additional compensation. As you can see, the job we were hired to do 10 years ago is no longer the job we have today. My colleagues and I truly enjoy being therapists and helping students. I recently received an email from a mother of one of my students thanking me for my help this year. She stated she believed her son would not have attended school as much as he did, and certainly would have not passed his classes if it wasn't for the counseling support that he received. Superintendent Mike Coleman, Assistant Superintendent Kathy Hunter, and Dr. Moore have personally seen the effect Eric's therapists have had at Sequoia in changing students' lives. These therapists assist the most fragile in the district and meet their educational goals by providing milieu, individual, and group and family counseling. It is harder to fill and maintain these positions. In the strategic plan for the district for years 2022 through 2027, it states under the financial and human resource section, number 4.4, create and maintain conditions that attract and retain qualified and diverse staff. Without proper compensation, we're at risk of not being able to attract and retain qualified staff. The majority of licensed therapists have 20+ years of experience in the field of mental health. Teachers, school psychologists, and other certificated staff are important in school, but I hope you see the importance of school-based therapists and other classified support staff. Please agree to support classified staff in the same way you supported certificated staff with a minimum 4% salary increase.
Mr. Jensen, thank you for having the courage to attend a parent meeting. You face tough questions from many concerned parents. Their concerns, gender issues being pushed on young students. This is a parent choice, not a school choice. Mr. Webb, you mentioned that you are not in favor of pronouns pushed on young kids. Do you still stand on that? Another concern is ethnic studies. Ethnic studies is fine, however, real history should be taught, the good and the bad, and how America has come a long way. Example, the U.S. Constitution speaks on we the people, not race. In the Civil War, 1 million white men fought and died alongside black men to end slavery, but that's left out as well. Let's teach the truth, not bits and pieces which are dividing us and not uniting us. Another concern is massive mandates, and as you know, it's expected to come back here in LA County. By now you should know this is political, and we must not allow this to happen to these kids again. This too should be a choice. Mr. Jensen, you agreed with the parents, and you said that you're willing to fight for them. We discussed parental engagement, which encompasses parental rights and parental choice. You agreed this can be a solution and should be put on the agenda for further discussion. I would like to be on record to ask if this could be done. Mr. Jensen, I believe that you are a man of your word. For the sake of these parents and their children, I hope you stand behind it. We need you people to start fighting for all the children, not selected few or a hidden agenda. Let's lead by example and work together moving forward. The only agenda should be is for their safety, freedom, and real education for the children and their future. Thank you.
Good evening. Wow, it feels good, so good to work together for the cause and to see many familiar faces in unity. Board members, you have a union sick and tired of giving up cost of living. This year, we're not leaving money on the table. We want our fair share. You will see a no vote if we don't get the 6.5 cost of living that we deserve. To all my brothers and sisters, I hear you. I just need you to vote when the time comes. Not too late to get 6.5. Thank you.
Rebecca first, then Glenda.
My name is Rebecca Hindman, and one of my children is a gun violence survivor. Over the last year, we have lost time being able to speak out and make our district better and stronger. Our kids were home for over a year. A lot of them were in environments that fostered behaviors that are now seen in school every day. They learned that it was okay to hate those who weren't like them, and that history shouldn't make you feel bad. Well, those attitudes are not okay. The new motto is one heart, and these attitudes do not go together. The events at Saugus High School on May 26 brought this to the forefront. We had gun violence survivors wanting their voices to be heard, and instead they were threatened with truancy, bullied by the adults in the room with names brat and useless. They had full milk cartons, water bottles, food, and other things thrown at them while being threatened with violence by their peers who did not support them. This is not just a one-time event. This is daily at Saugus High School. The events of the walkout showed the harsh reality that Hart District students face every day. The gun violence survivors, or shooter class, as they are called, feel a lack of support when they ask for help. They are mocked and ignored and are left fighting for the help that they need. Do you wonder why so many children are homeschooled? It is not master religion, it is unhealthy environments in our campuses. One thing that can help, having full-time SROs.
Yes.
They can help build our community. They can make our schools better and safer. To be able to get coverage for full-time SROs, it takes $1.5 million on top of the $3.5 million that the district already spends. If we were to ask the city to cover this cost, $3.5 million could go to all these amazing people who help our kids every day. Yeah!
First of all, I'd like to say how rude it is when you guys aren't watching for this much people. You might be listening, but you're not looking at them, okay? That's rude. You guys talked about PTSD. What do you think has happened to the kids when they're having to go through CRT? That's PTSD. You guys all congratulated the high school graduates from this year. Why did they not get a grad night? That was just uncalled for. The kids still said about it. Linda, don't laugh. It's not funny. Okay, the other thing that I'm here for is the fact that these people here work their butts off. And they don't get raises. So when are they going to get them? What about their medical? You guys have great medical. Mr. Vieira, you make over $200,000 a year. I've asked you before, cut their pay and give them money. You have the money, give it to them. Stop hiding the money that's God knows where you put it at this point, and give it to these people that deserve it. Stop keeping it for yourself, Mr. Coleman. Just do your job and say yes, we'll give to them. Thank you.
Jordan Morales. Jessica, you go first. Doesn't matter. I don't care. Give me your name and get up there.
So I have here a letter that was signed by the CSA membership, which has been sent to the board. Good afternoon. As you know, minimum wage is still increasing, has now surpassed the lowest paid classified employees, as shown on the salary schedule posted on the district website. The first attachment to this letter shows how increases in minimum wage have caused the classified salary schedule to collapse. As you can see why, in 7 years, our district has gone from a well-paying, coveted place of employment to one that cannot attract an adequate number of applicants needed to fill vacancies. When looking at the health benefits offered to classified employees versus every other employee group, the inequality is overwhelming. The district's contribution for certificated, administrative, and management positions is determined by the cost of the Anthem Blue Cross PPO full network 80/20 for one party. In addition, the district pays 80% of the cost difference between one party premiums and family premiums for that plan. Now, when premiums increase, so does the district's contribution. For our classified employees, the district contributes $14,500 as a fixed cost. When premiums increase, the entire increase comes out of our pockets. In addition, the district pays the cost of dental vision for all employee groups except for classified. The second attachment shows the cost comparisons in regards to benefits. The district needs to include our classified staff with dental and vision contributions. We've been listening to the district tell us how financially insecure we are. For the last 5 years, we've heard the same thing. This year, we're okay. The next year, we'll barely make it. And by year 3, we will not be able to survive. It's the same thing every year. How we are cutting it close. The next 2 attachments show the district's revenues versus expenditures for the last 3 years. While 1 year we do show a deficit of $3 million, the other 2 years show excesses of $12 million, $24 million. In addition, we see a slight decrease from year 1 to 2. There's an overall increase of more than $28 million short of reserves. Now, here the district plans to restructure its cabinet, creating 2 new assistant superintendent positions to replace 2 management positions. And while this may be presented as...
Thank you for your time. I appreciate the comments.
Thank you.
Good evening, Board, CSEA. I stand here tonight as a member of KHTS, a teacher who knows that the Hart District could not function without our CSEA members, our classified staff. Our district has presented the new initiative, One Hart. One is to be unified in purpose. Is it unified when one group of employees are consistently treated differently, treated poorly? Is it one heart for the group working closest to students to be paid the least, to have the highest benefit cost? One specific initiative being presented is to create and maintain conditions that attract and maintain qualified and diverse staff. When individuals can make more and have better benefits working at Target than as an instructional assistant or campus supervisor, are you, the board and district leadership, acting in good faith when you say our district is one heart? Is the district and leadership, cabinet, opportunity ready to finally align your words and your actions? Our CSEA members deserve equal benefits to HDTA and management, and a living wage increase. I encourage the district to take this opportunity, be opportunity ready, to finally recognize that CSEA is the heart of the district. Thank you.
Hello, President Messina, distinguished board members, Superintendent Coleman, and cabinet members. As you can see, the classified staff has a desire to have their voices heard. We are not asking for more than other classifications in our district. We are simply asking to be equal. Equal in cost of living increase and equal in benefits, cost, and coverage. We are asking not only for ourselves, but our families. Our students are our focus, and many of our classified employees have children who are students. They are not being treated equal as family members of classified employees. Just because Susie's mom is a classified employee, she cannot get braces covered by mom's insurance. But Jimmy's dad, who is another classification in the district, can. I ask you, how is that fair? Stevie's dad is not able to attend his CIF championship games because he has to work a second job due to his first job as a classified employee not paying enough to keep a roof over their heads. But Molly's dad is able to attend all her games because he's a different classification of Hart District employee. I ask you again, how is that fair? There are many examples, and I'm sure we could go on and on. But there is one more point I would like to bring up. We are a classification have been hit the hardest with the hiring struggles within the district. Many of us are asked to juggle multiple duties for extensive periods of time, which can become cumbersome and quite exhausting. While at the same time being told again that we are not equivalent to receive the cost of living increase as our counterpart classifications. This is causing many to search for employments outside of the district and eventually leave, therefore increasing the issue of vacancies in the district having to fill. I ask you to be proactive and support the classified staff and give them the equal cost of living increase and equal benefits and coverage and cost. Thank you.
Rebecca and Nancy.
Good evening, board members. Thank you for the opportunity to speak to you tonight. My name is Rachel Gilligan, and I have been an employee of the Hart District and a proud member of the classified staff for over 33 years. Fair and equitable benefits and pay should be available to each and every employee in this district. It should not be dependent upon the type of job you do for this district. Whether you are a teacher, a custodian, campus supervisor or secretary, we should all be treated fairly and given affordable health care and a fair wage. We are all valuable employees, but unfortunately, not all of us feel valued by this district. As you are aware, the classified staff pays more for their benefits than any other employee group in this district, including certificated staff, administrators, and management. Classified members are also the only employees that have to pay for dental and vision insurance, while all others get dental and vision provided to them at no cost. To emphasize just how much more classified staff is forced to pay, I'll use myself as an example. I pay $705.56 each month for my HMO medical and dental and vision benefits. And as I mentioned earlier, I've been with this district for over 33 years. By contrast, a certificated employee in our district, even a brand new certificate employee just hired, who has the exact same medical plan and coverage as mine, only pays $247.92 a month. That's a difference of $457.64 a month. Classified employees are important. We are essential. We were the first to be back on the school campuses during COVID. We deserve to be treated fairly. We deserve to be valued. We deserve equal benefits and a fair wage. Thank you.
Good evening, members of the governing board and superintendent. My name is Rebecca Quinones, and I'm a district translator. I'm standing here along with our CSEA employees asking you to reconsider a better offer for our employees, one that provides a fair salary increase, dental and vision benefits paid for by the district, and an increase in the health and benefits cap. By doing so, you will help the district retain its employees and attract future qualified employees. We keep hearing that we don't have enough classified staff to fill the vacancies and we can't retain our employees for several years, but have you taken a moment to analyze why that is true? The answer to that is we aren't paying our members enough to be able to survive in a time where the cost of living continues to increase substantially. This year, that COLA was 5.33%, and next year it will be over 6%. Another thing I don't understand is why is the district continuously spending tens of thousands of dollars on outside vendors that do the same work of our classified employees? Access to our parents, service providers, and administrators through written documents, legal and educational, and interpreting services in different meetings and therapy sessions to ensure that our parents have language access to make informed decisions about their child's education in their native language. And no, I do not use Google Translate. In the month of April 2022, we had a total of 118 interpreting requests, which was an increase of 38 requests from last April. The district spent $15,000 in April alone to an outside agency called Alloy Interpreters. Alloy Interpreters is a contracting agency that provides the same interpreter services that I provide for the district at a higher cost. $15,000 is the equivalent of the pay of almost 4 district translators. The district spends $223 per meeting to LRA, even if the meeting lasts only 30 minutes. On another note, LA USD pays its translators $38 to $48 an hour to do the exact same job that I do, and we only make between $20 to $25 an hour working here. So, what message does this send to our employees? The district is not willing to invest more money on retaining its members by offering us competitive salaries and better benefits, but they are willing to spend thousands of dollars to outside agencies that don't work with our district and community to do the exact same job that we do to provide quality service for our community and students. Please consider your offer.
Hold on one second. Jessica, Michelle, and Santa Rivera. Go ahead.
Good evening. Historically, during the meeting, the May 18th Hart meeting, you made a suggestion for future consideration, and I am paraphrasing, that public comments be placed at the end of the meeting as opposed to the beginning. You stated you looked into the city of Santa Clarita, several school boards, and other cities have their public comments at the end. Santa Clarita school board meetings and public comments are all at the beginning of the meeting, including the water district. This information can all be verified online. In fact, Ms. Dorley, you attended the May 24th City Council meeting when you witnessed public comments at the beginning of the meeting. Therefore, I asked the board to dismiss this future consideration of public comments at the end of the meeting, since Ms. Dorley has presented inaccurate evidence. Trustee Moore, regarding your question during the last board meeting about why public comments and consent calendar were changed without informing you, or as you said, we were not informed. If you refer to Hart Governance Handbook for 2021-22 on page 7 under individual board member requests, and I am paraphrasing, at board member agenda setting meetings, the board president and the superintendent will review each item and determine if it's for open or closed session, an action item, and information or consent item, and determine the appropriate time to place the item on the agenda. Trustee Moore, you've been a board member since 2017, almost 5 years, and you served a year as president. As an elected official, yet you should be familiar with the Hart's handbook. My question is, are you really here for our children? Proverbs 21:4, haughty eyes and a proud heart, the unplowed field of the wicked produce sin. 2 Corinthians 11:14, and no wonder, for Satan himself masquerades as the angel of light. Yahweh la kawa akananula dala atera. Thank you.
Okay, I'm putting resources in here to do Good evening, members of the governing board and members of the community. My name is Jessica Moore and I represent CSEA, the local union that represents around 850 hardworking, dedicated professionals. They are the heartbeat of the district. The importance of classified employees and the role they play in serving both students and staff cannot be overstated. These individuals are often the first responders in emergencies on campus. They are trusted adults that students rely on and confide in. They support teachers in classrooms. They make sure they have every campus safe and secure, and that all students, regardless of their circumstance, have the resources they need to thrive both personally and academically. However, their value is not reflected in how they are compensated for their service. Due to the rising minimum wage since 2015, some classified employees have seen their wages deteriorate by as much as 58%. Classified employees are the lowest paid employees in the district, and they pay 33% out of pocket to cover their healthcare premiums, where every other employee in the district only pays 12%. In addition, classified employees are the only group of employees that pay for their own dental and vision benefits. The district's budget is above average for a high school district. In fact, their revenues exceeded their expenditures by $24 million, and their reserves increased to over 20% of their overall budget. These hard-working community members did not get into this line of work because of financial compensation, but because they care. Many classified employees are parents, grandparents, and neighbors who take pride in the work that they do. However, they can no longer afford to do their job and subsist on poverty wages. The district has demonstrated time and time again that they do not value or respect the classified staff. What would happen if these critical members of the district disappeared? How would the teachers fare? The students? If the district values their students and they believe that changing the life of one student can change the world, then they must invest in their classified staff. I respectfully encourage you to direct district administration to provide a wage increase. Thank you.
Good evening. I wanted to start off by addressing SB 1100. The reason why I wanted to address that bill is because I know that it's been frowned upon. Mr. Webb, you frowned upon it, and you quoted also at Code 35.145.5 and misused it. That's why I think it's very important that we make sure that people cannot get kicked out because you guys think that it's unorderly, because we have a right as public and your constituents, we voted you guys in to speak publicly. I also wanted to mention SB 866. I will not stop, even if it passes all the way through. There has to be a way that we can stop it. It is not okay to allow 12-year-olds to make medical decisions. And with that, I want to remind parents out there listening, please build, keep, and protect your relationship with your children. They want to separate us. They want our children to be, 12-year-old children are at a stage where they become rebellious. They're going into their own person and they can be easily influenced. So please, I beg of you, if you only have 20 minutes to find out what their day is, they're getting homework digitally. It's not being brought home. We can't look at it physically. Moving on, I also want to remind parents that if any mandates come back, if we don't comply, many of us don't comply, they can't do anything about it. I will send my child without a mask if you guys decide to try to put it back on her. Yeah. She will not wear a muzzle. And I want to also add the classified staff here should feel supported and appreciated. Inflation is going on right now. Everybody is suffering. And I think that if people that have the money that can give a little bit, should do that. Not just for themselves and if you have extra, if you have a 5-bedroom home, you don't need to use them all, why would you continue to live in it? I think that we need to be more helpful with our community. Thank you.
Michelle, looks like Garvin, Diane Zimmerman, Mrs. B, and blank. I don't know what to say. Okay, no, Mrs. Blank here. How about Michelle Garvin? Diane Zimmerman and Mrs. B.
Good evening. Thank you for letting me speak. I want to, first of all, really quick, I just want to tell you that you all have absolutely awesome. And all topics, everyone, but all you classified workers deserve. You are amazing.
Diane, speak this.
I beg your pardon.
Can't hear you.
You are amazing. All right, now this is for the teachers. I'm afraid I have to bring this up every time. Teachers, please note that you do not have any reason to belong to a teachers union. Over 90% of the money going to them is and has been used to support socialist leading candidates. Politics does not belong in unions, but they have been first in them since their inception. It is my understanding that on the current anniversary of your hire date, correct me if I'm wrong, you have the option to opt out of the teachers union. Now, if you go to write this down or listen carefully, if you go to Teachers Toolkit at www.forkidsandcountry.org, you parents and teachers, if you have not already done so, you need to see the movie, Whose Children Are They? You can go online to see it too. You will see nothing but proven facts, and you will be shocked if that's possible anymore. Read the book, Standing Up to Goliath, Battling State and National Teachers Unions for the Heart and Soul of Our Kids and Country by Rebecca Friedrichs. Facts, nothing but facts, and this has been going on for decades since the unions began. We are not good. You have a whole lot of eternity. You have a whole lot of alternatives. Teachers Toolkit at www.forkidsandcountry.org. You'll get all your answers there of what to do.
Thank you, President Messina and the board members this evening for allowing me to speak and exercise my right to speak. I would like to address a few things, and I just wondered, action item, I guess it's 9, maybe the person who covers that can answer these questions that I have for them. Do any of the schools in this district do gender affirmation therapy, and at what age? Who determines if a child is going through gender dysphoria? What does the administration do regarding this child who has the gender dysphoria, and are the parents notified of this situation? Do any of your schools have equality clubs? And do they disclose what this club does do they disclose what the club does to the parents? And does the parent sign off? There is a book that's mentioned here. It's called Look Both Ways, A Tale Told in 10 Blocks. However, it would be nice if you indicate who the authors are in these books so the parents can look up those books. And that was not mentioned. So those are my questions. When you get to item 9, I hope somebody can answer those. Thank you.
Let's go to our public comments. I want to thank all of them who came out for scope. Now we'll move into item 8A.
with Gabe. She works with Gabe. He's the OT guy, the main OT guy. I like work. I see Gabe. Hey, hold on real quick.